In this video, we're going to be looking at partial fractions. So let's say we are given these two fractions and we are asked to combine them. How do we go by it? The very first thing we want to do is to ensure that the denominators are the same so that we can easily combine them. Now, the quickest way to make the denominators the same is to multiply this fraction by what we have right here. And of course, because you are talking about fractions, whatever you do to the numerator side, you must do the exact same thing on the denominator side. So I'm going to also have to multiply the denominator by this right here. And this time, I have to also put this in parentheses. And in the same way, I'm also going to multiply the numerator of this fraction by what we have right here, which is x minus 2. Then, of course, whatever you do to the numerator side, you must do the same thing on the denominator side. So we have this. And you realize that on the denominator side of both equations, we see that they are the same. So we can easily combine these two fractions. So I'm going to write one of the denominators as the LCM. That is going to be x plus 1 then times x minus 2, and this time we can combine the numerators. So on the numerator side, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna distribute what we have right here. So 1 times x plus 1, this will give me x plus 1. Then plus, this plus is coming from this right here. 3 times x, that is gonna give me 3x. Then 3 times negative 2, this is gonna give me negative 6. Let's go ahead and then simplify this fraction. If we do that, we're going to have x plus x, which is giving me 4x. Then positive 1 minus 6, that is negative 5, all divided by. Now let's go ahead and then expand this bracket. X times x will give me, let me do it here, will give me x squared. Then x times negative 2, that is going to be negative 2x. Then we have 1 times x, this is going to be positive x. Then positive 1 times negative 2, that is going to be negative 2. And if we simplify this, we're going to end up getting x squared minus x minus 2. So we realize that initially we were given these two fractions and we have been able to combine them to form this whole fraction that we have here. Now the question is, what if we are given this whole fraction and we are asked to decompose it? In other words, we have to resolve in partial fraction. How are we going to do it? So in this video, we're going to be looking at how we can express a given fraction into its partial forms. Now let's say we are given this fraction 6 divided by x plus 3 times x minus 3. And we are asked to resolve this into partial fractions. How are we going to do it? Now before we start expressing this in partial fractions, there are some key things you need to understand. The first thing is that as long as the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, there is no problem. So we can go ahead and then resolve it into partial fractions. Now, what degree are we talking about right here? If we try to expand these factors on the denominator side, you realize that we will have the highest degree of x in these two factors, which will be 2. Then if we check on the numerator side of this fraction, you realize that we have a constant, meaning that the x right here is of power 0. That is how come we have a constant here. So you notice that for this fraction right here, the degree of the x on the numerator side is less than the degree of the x on the denominator side. If that happens, then it is easy to resolve the fraction into partial form. So how are we going to do it? The fact that we know that the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, we can go ahead and then express this in partial fraction. Now you notice that we have two factors right here, one and then this one. So meaning if we express this in partial form, we're going to end up getting two different fractions. So this is our first fraction, then plus the second one. And of course, the denominator of this fraction is going to be the factor right here. That is x plus 3. Then the denominator of the second fraction is going to be x minus 3. But the question is, what are we going to write on the numerator side? Now, one key thing you need to pay attention to is that whenever you express any given fraction into its partial form, the degree of the numerator must be 1 less than the degree of the denominator. You notice that in the parentheses here, we have the degree of the denominator to be just 1. So that means that if the degree of the numerator must be 1 less than the degree of the denominator, then we are going to have a constant right here, simply because the x right here will have a degree of 0. And we know that any number to the power 0 is 1, with the exception of 0. The condition is really important. Cool. So if we try to simplify this, then we will end up getting a. In the same way, if you look at this factor right here, the degree of the denominator is just 1. So therefore, the numerator must also be a constant, which is b. Now, if we try to find the values of a and b in this problem, it's going to take a couple of times. So let me walk you through how you can express any given fraction into its partial form. Now, another point is that, let's say we are given 1 over x squared minus 1, and you are asked to express this in its partial form. You notice that on the denominator side, we have quadratic factor, right? Now, because this quadratic factor right here is factorable, it means that we can break this down. So if we try to express this in its partial form, first of all, we have to rewrite this in its factors form. So this is going to be 1 over, because this is difference of two squares, we can express it as x plus 1 times x minus 1. There we go. And we see that this is of this form right here. So basically, we can just break it down. Of course, we are going to have the first fraction with a denominator of x plus 1. Then the numerator is going to be a constant once again, because the degree of this one is 1. The degree of the denominator is just 1. Therefore, the degree of the numerator must be a constant. Then plus, and notice that always we introduce plus and not minus. So always it's supposed to be plus. Then we have the second factor right here, which is x minus 1. Let me shift this to this side a little bit. So we are going to have x minus 1, then the numerator will be a constant, which in this case is b. So you notice that whenever we are given any fraction, and on the denominator side, if we have quadratic, which is factorable, then it means that you have to break it down before you resolve it into partial form. Now, another example, let's say we are given, let me move this one to the top first before we look at that example. And let's say we are given 4x plus 1, all divided by, let's say we have x to the third power. Now, to resolve this in partial fraction, of course, we have to check and see whether the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. And you notice that the degree of the numerator right here is 1, and the degree of the denominator is 3. So no problem. We can go ahead and then resolve this into 8 partial form. So the very first thing I want to do is that I'm going to equate this one to, of course, we are going to have a constant right here, then divided by x. Why x? This right here is reducible. We can reduce this one into x times x times x. So it means that for this x, they'll have a constant numerator, then plus, for the second one, this time around, we are going to build it up. So this is going to be b over x to the second power. And lastly, we are also going to have c over x to the third power. So if we are given any fraction, just like what we have here, this is how to go by it, provided we have a repeated factor. Another example can be this way. Let's just say we have x divided by x minus 1, or to the third power. This is going to be a over x minus 1 plus b over x minus 1 this time, all squared. Then lastly, we have c divided by x minus 1, all to the third power. And that is pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and then look at another aspect of partial fraction. Now let's just say we are given, let's say 3x minus 1 all divided by x squared x minus 1, like this. How are we going to resolve this into its partial form? You notice that for this factor right here is a repeated factor and it is reducible. We can reduce this as x times x. So meaning the first fraction will have a constant numerator, then the denominator will be just x. Then the next one is also going to be a constant numerator, then we are also going to have a repeated factor which will be x squared in this case. Then the last one right here is also linear, therefore this is also going to have a constant numerator which will be c divided by x minus 1. And in either ways, you may be asked to find the values of a, b, and c. And like I said, if you try to find the values of a, b, and c, this is going to take a lot of time, and we will look at examples after this right here. Cool. And let's look at another example again. Now let's say we have x minus 1 divided by x times x squared plus 1. How are we going to resolve this into its partial form? Let's check this out. Now, for this right here, of course, we are going to have a constant numerator for this factor right here, which is just x. All right? Then we are going to have x right here. Then plus, you notice that inside the parentheses, we have a quadratic factor. But this quadratic factor right here is irreducible. We can never reduce this quadratic factor. It is irreducible. We can never reduce it. Because the degree of this factor right here is 2, it means that the degree of the numerator of the fraction right here should be 1 less than that, and this is going to be a linear. So we're going to have bx plus c, which is linear, then over x squared plus 1. So whenever you are given any fraction, check and see if the quadratic factor given is reducible. If it is not reducible, then it means that the numerator will be linear. And just as I said, the degree of the numerator of the fraction must be 1 less than the degree of the denominator. So this is how to go by it if you are given any problem in this form. Another example, let's just say we are given 2x divided by x plus 1 squared, then times x squared plus 2. And we are asked to resolve this right here. Of course, this is going to be, inside this one we have linear factor, okay? So the numerator of the fraction is going to be a constant over x plus 1. Then the next one is also going to be b over the exact same thing, but this time raised to a second power. And lastly, we are going to have this factor right here. You notice that this is a quadratic irreducible factor. So it means that the degree of the numerator must be linear. So this is going to be cx plus d all over x squared plus 2. So guys, this is a quick introduction to partial fractions when the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. In our next video, we will look at when the degree of the numerator is more than the degree of the denominator. Check out this video and see you again on the next video. Bye bye.